An agent, yes. Now, I am doing an impromptu Ask an Agent. And you know how those go. They're impromptu. So, the only way that this is going to work is for you to just, hey, holler out your questions if you have some, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, this is an impromptu Ask an Agent where you can get all of your questions answered about buying and selling a home. So if you have questions, you can definitely drop those questions in the chat. I'm doing this Ask an Agent impromptu because I've had several closings. I've had several people reaching out to me asking, like, how are you able to even find these people houses? Inventory is so low. How were you able to get that house sold so quickly when it hit the market? And here's the thing. You got to have a will and a desire. And I have that will and that desire to make it happen for people. So it doesn't matter if it's going to be, today or tomorrow, next week, next year. I'm going to make it happen, period. And so, again, I just wanted to jump on here, impromptu, like I said, kind of field your questions and see what you have in mind and what you're asking. One person is saying, hey, what are interest rates looking like? Okay, so I'm so glad you asked. Number one, let me preference my answer to that question, what interest rates are looking at, with I am not a lender, okay? I do not own a mortgage company, nothing of the sort. And so I'm going to do my best to just answer the question while staying in my lane as a real estate broker. So the thing with interest rates is, hey, we are beginning to see a slight rise. And I told y'all months and months ago when interest rates were very low, hey, if you had a home and your interest rate was like 4, 5, 6, 7%, you needed to be refinancing. And I told you buyers then, hey, if you wanted to buy a home, now was the time to buy. So now that we're seeing interest rates go up, you don't want to jump out now because they're just going to keep going up. You want to get in while you can, so that if they do prayerfully ever take a turn and come back down as low as we saw earlier this summer, you can take advantage with a refinance being done. So again, just pop those questions in the chat if you have anything about buying or selling real estate. This is an impromptu, so I don't have a special guest tonight. It is just me answering all your questions. So feel free, like I said, to just put them in the chat. I know someone on Instagram was asking me about decluttering a home, and so I posted a picture the other day where it's a woman taking all of her clutter to her neighbor's house, saying, "Hey, I'm getting ready to list my house. Will you let me know? Will you hold on to my clutter?" And it was a funny little cartoon that I posted, but clutter is a big deal when it comes to getting your house ready for the market. A lot of people, it's a nice way to say we hoard stuff. We just hang on to things because it has sentimental value. It has memories that bring back times when we were, hey, doing better, doing worse, or whatever. But either way, we love it. We want to hold on to what that is. But when it's time to get your house ready for the market, you got to pack those things away and put them somewhere else. They can't be out in the open. Okay? We can't have 2 bookshelves full of tons and tons of books that you've not read at all. You're just sitting there hoarding. Let's pack up some of those. Let's make that bookshelf look less cluttered and, have a few books there, but you definitely want to have it so that it's easy on the eyes when people walk in. You got to remember, when a buyer walks into your home, sellers, when a buyer walks into your home, that buyer is going to say, can I live here? And then that buyer is going to go through nitpicking every little thing. Now, yes, we all understand that it is a seller's market right now, okay? And sellers are pretty much getting everything that they want, so y'all think y'all don't have to really clean up your houses. But let me tell you something. Would you like to have 3 offers on a house or 30 offers on a house? I think most people would like to have 3 offers on a house, right? No, they want to have 30 offers on a house. The more the merrier, right? The more competition, the better. Well, guess what, sellers? The nicer your house looks, the better. Okay, that caulking around the sink where it's coming up and it's separating from the backsplash or from the cabinet. Yeah, let's caulk that. Very simple, minor, inexpensive fix, but it makes it look nice and neat. Little things like that can just add so much joy. So again, we're just doing an impromptu Ask an Agent with just me. I have no special guest tonight, and so I'm just answering your questions. If you have some questions, drop them in the chat. It doesn't matter if you're in the market now or you were just curious about something or somebody told you something or somebody had to do something that you didn't have to do when you purchased your house. It doesn't matter. Drop your questions in. Let's get them answered. You know, it's been a minute since I've done an Ask an Agent, and I know y'all have missed me, so come on with the questions and let me know what you've got. Again, it's impromptu, so you can say what you want, and I will ensure that your questions get answered. I have a lot of people on here. Thank you so much for those that are watching. I appreciate you. Your support that you all always give me is always phenomenal and great. And a lot of times the support comes afterwards. I've ended the show and then all of a sudden then the questions start pouring in. My inbox is flooded. But, you know, the purpose is to get these questions live so that we're helping other people at the same time. And there's no question that's a dumb question. Just ask your question. Let's get it answered and see what we can do. Okay. The temperature is going to drop tonight, y'all. I don't know if y'all were aware of that, but we want to make sure that we are bundling up, okay? What does that have to do with my house? Because, hey, when temperature starts to drop, what do they tell you to do? Run a little bit of water in your sink, right? Just so it continuous drip, right? So that your pipes don't freeze. A little tidbit there. If you didn't know, now you know. If you knew, now we both know. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, any agents who are watching, if you've got questions, I mean, I would love to, you know, bring one of my agents on and see what the market is doing for them. So if you want to be brought on, you know, just let me know. I'll bring you on and we can talk. If you have a testimonial about your experience, or not even a testimonial, a story about, hey, I went through this when I purchased my house, you know, something, advice you were like, hey, if I had known this, I would have done this. Hey, I'll bring you on and let you share it with the audience. So like I said, this is an impromptu. All you got to do is just let me know if you want to be brought on to ask your questions, or you can just drop your questions in the chat. Again, if you have a story, you can share your story. We are just here, you know, to help you with real estate. That's it. That's what I do. I'm not an artist. I'm not a lender. I'm not an inspector. I'm just a real estate broker out here trying to make it happen for buyers and sellers. So any questions that you have, like I said, just drop them in the chat. If you want to come on camera, let me know, and I will bring you on board. So what you got for me? I feel like it's all silent. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody has not one question. Nobody has not one story to tell. I see. Look, don't let me start calling your names out. I see we've got, oh, my good friend, Miss Brandy on here. Brandy Nicole watching. And she's a phenomenal agent as well. She does credit repair. If anyone is looking to get their credit repaired, she is phenomenal. So we are here just trying to do an impromptu Ask an Agent so that you guys can get your questions answered and you know what's happening in the market. I mean, I've had 2 closings last week. I had 2 this week. I'm making it happen out here. So I want to be able to give you guys the tools so that you guys can make it happen too. You know, it's all about knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Yes. So what do you have for me? I don't see your questions. I don't see anybody waving at me. I mean, it just seems like I'm just here by myself. And y'all are supposed to be getting these questions out so that we can, you know, make it happen. From time to time, I typically will get asked, should I do FHA loan or should I do a conventional loan? Quite frankly, that depends on how good your credit score is, in my opinion. But again, that's not my lane. That's the lender's lane. So I want to make sure that I get you with the right lender that can answer that question for you. Okay? Let's see. Anybody want to be brought on camera to kind of do this with me? So we want to make sure that we can answer the questions. Just do things so that people get homes. Inventory is very low. I ran a search last week for a client on across 5 counties and put in all their criteria. It was like 9 houses across 5 counties. How crazy is that? That's how bad inventory is. So I'm just here to answer your questions, let you know about real estate. It's Ask an Agent. I told you it's been a minute since I've been on here, so if you don't want to ask no questions, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Just let me know. Don't start blowing up my inbox the second I get off. Even if I'm not in your area. I want to give a special shout out to this beautiful soul that I see watching, Miss Peference Evans. She is a phenomenal artiste. Yes, she's a phenomenal artist. Love seeing the things that she is doing. So shout out to her. I pay homage to you in front of everybody. You are doing great things, and I love watching the things that you do. So who else has some good things going out there? I talked about Brandy earlier. She's doing some phenomenal things. Anybody else? I see I got my cousin on here. She's doing phenomenal things. Who else? Let me know. Apparently you guys have no questions and nobody wants to be brought on camera, huh? Y'all just here. All right. All you gotta do is say, hey. Let me know how your experience is, Brand. I really would love to talk to Brandy. Brandy, can I bring you on camera? Let me know. Drop it in the chat and let me know if I can. I would love to talk to you. You were out in these streets making it happen for people with credit repair and everything. Let's see. Hey, hey, hey. How are you?
Listen, how are you?
A woman, rather?
I normally am not in my room. I was like, she probably won't even get this request. So our comments must not be showing on your end.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna read
not.
to
So,
you.
hey, why don't you read the comments and then I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and answer them.
So I'm gonna read them to you. All
Okay,
right.
perfect.
So Arlisha asked, where are the best places to add value to your home / upgrades?
Okay, let me tell you. Anytime someone looks into a home, they are looking at 2 main rooms, the kitchen and the master. Okay, which we no longer use the term master now. We say the primary bedroom. Okay, so when that happens, you always want to make sure that your kitchen looks fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, I'm talking about clearing clutter out. I talked about this a little bit earlier, taking things down so it's not a lot of stuff on your countertops. I turned my camera around and show you mine, but it's really embarrassing, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, but my clutter is it's real bad. So, but I'm just saying, you have to, like, all the 18 coffee cups that's just sitting there, to put them underneath. Take it down, put it under. With the master, of course, you always want to make sure that the bed is made. Can't tell you how many times I've gone into a house and your bed is not made, and we're trying to look at your house. Making your bed makes your room look so much better, even if it's clothes on the floor, right? Because the bed is always the focal point in a room. Okay, so you always want to make sure you make your bed. Which, by the way, I like your expression.
Thank you. I usually don't go live in my bedroom, and I was like, okay, she's gonna actually see the join request. So anyway, forgive me to the public who may think I'm just a little shady over here. So
you got shady, girl. You helping a sister out. You making her Ask an Agent live look good. So
okay.
I'm with you. You helping me out. You my assistant for today. Make
All
sure
right,
you
let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so my comment was, I'll come on if you need some entertainment, but I'm not currently in the market.
I am here for the entertainment. What's going on with the art world?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in the art world, I'm just in my own world. I probably am not as, what's a good word, into the loop as, maybe others are. I just kind of hop in and hop out when I feel like it. But because art for me is such a personal thing, it's not dated, it's not constrained to a time period. The world around us just changes. So I'm
Right.
confident in that.
Love it, love it. And you know
Yes.
what I like the most is the confidence. Okay, it's the confidence for me.
Good,
Okay,
good, good.
absolutely. But people are always looking for artwork when they buy a home. So
Yes.
I'm actually kind of glad you hopped on because that's the thing. They're like, oh well, I need to decorate my house. Let me get some artwork. And
That's
so,
interesting because whenever I decorate a space of my own, I
mhm.
tend to create custom pieces. So I have a piece behind me. Let's see if we can see it. Has a little glare.
Ooh, yeah.
Created to match my room.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it's not like matchy in terms of the design that's on my comforter, so to speak, but I try to choose a palette that's close. So even if I do change out my bedding, I'll still be within a decent range and keep that same
Right.
appeal. So anyway, I've done that for a couple of spaces. But
So if someone wanted you to create a custom piece for them for they just closed on their house and they want a piece of artwork maybe for the bedroom or maybe for the office, maybe even to hang over the dining room table, can they reach out to you for custom pieces?
oh, they absolutely can. And thank you, Brandy. So my website is artbyp.com. So that's artbyp.com. And I actually have a page on Facebook called Art by Preference. So you don't see everything there, but if you do go to my website, there's information about how to uh some of the behind the scenes information regarding a commission piece. So it will be considered like a commission piece. Whenever you ask for custom work, that's not already made, kind of like clothes, when you have the ready to wear versus tailored pieces, or so to speak. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm all for a good tailored piece, honey.
Yes,
But I
yes, yes.
want y'all to be clear, them tailored pieces cost.
They do, they do.
Put your
There's
coins up,
always
okay? Save your money, okay? Because when you
Yes,
come to her,
there's
you got to be
always
right.
a cost to customize. So yes, that is something to keep in mind. Anything that is going to be one of a kind or is going to be made especially for you is definitely going to incur more cost. But of course, with that, you also incur more value because it's for you, you know,
Awesome,
it's for your
awesome,
space.
awesome. All right.
So let me give you your next question so we don't
Okay.
get too far off. And thank you, Nicole. All right, here we go. Brandy Nicole asks, how to make an FHA buyer offer stand out?
Brandy is Brandy's one of our agents. I mean, she's not an agent with my company, but she's a fantastic, fantastic agent out here. And let me tell you something, Brandy. In this market, it is tough to get an FHA buyer accepted. And here's why, because FHA guidelines won't let buyers pay the difference. I mean, they'll let you pay the difference in price, but let's say that FHA buyer is also getting down payment assistance. The new contract, the way the new North Carolina contract is, it used to be a box that you would check that says down payment assistance, but now there's a line near the end of that section that says other funds. And in that other funds, that is where you need to be putting down payment assistance because down payment assistance won't let the buyer pay more than the appraised value. And so getting your FHA offer to stand out, well, we no longer can write letters, okay? And letters preference, just to kind of give you and the audience a kind of a update on what I'm talking about. Um, buyers' letters to sellers is a tactic that buyers often use to encourage or to uh, pull on the heartstrings of a seller, asking them to take their offer. Now, it was common practice, very common practice, but now they're cracking down on it because most of these letters violate fair housing laws. Okay. And the North Carolina exclusive buyer agency agreement and the North Carolina listing agreement says to consult your agent on how letters will be done. Well, my firm, we don't do letters, period. And understand, I am a writer. Okay. I was the queen of writing letters, honey. But the second they started saying, look, these letters are starting to violate fair housing, no one is trying to lose their license to get you a house, okay? I want that clear. We are not losing anybody's license writing a letter that violates fair housing. We sign an agreement every single time we work with a client that says that we won't discriminate for any reason whatsoever. Now, they list them all out, but they list even other stuff that are not in the law, you know. But we said we're not going to discriminate, period. So if I start to help you formulate a letter that doesn't violate these things, number one, it's too much brain power, okay? Don't take the chance, people, okay? So I know that really didn't answer your question, Brandy, because I just said don't write a letter, okay? But a lot of times it's about building rapport. If you aren't out here networking with other agents, you need to get out here and start networking with other agents, because a lot of times it is that rapport that you've built. Now I see in the comments. I guess I had to comment first to start seeing these comments come through, but now they're starting to come through. At least I just saw Brandy say right, but prior to that, I got nothing. Sorry. But anyways, back to start networking with other agents, because and even if this isn't your industry, okay, you want to make sure that whatever your industry is, you're networking amongst your peers, because you've got to have a good name out there so that when you need that favor, when you need that agent to say, look, I know this isn't the highest offer, I know this is FHA, but this agent is a good agent and this transaction is going to be smooth. If I were you, I would take it. Now, understand, it is your decision on what you want to do. But sometimes that agent going to bat for you will help your buyer. And so no matter what offer I'm writing, if I'm writing 15 offers in one day, I'm always trying to reach out to 15 agents in that one day to have a conversation with them, let them know I've got an offer coming, try to get some type of immediate rapport going with them so that, you know, hey, they know they're going to be working with a good agent. They're working with someone who's professional. It's not going to be sloppy, okay? They're going to be getting good info, a good transaction, speedy. We're going to be knocking out our inspections right away. And that's really the best advice that I can give you, Brandy, on how to ensure that your FHA buyer's offer gets accepted. You got to think outside the box, you know? It's not just your highest and best. And when they say highest and best, a lot of times they mean your highest purchase price that you can offer and your best terms. But sometimes your highest price doesn't necessarily have to be the 10,000 above list price. Okay? Because here's the thing, when you're going 10,000 above list price, what if the home doesn't appraise? What are you going to do? What's going to happen? The home doesn't appraise and now you suck, right? Do you have an extra 10 grand to pay because you went over 10,000? So those are things you gotta keep in mind. Got anything else for me, Fred?
Yes, Arlisha asks, what are some low-cost upgrades you can do to your home?
Okay. Low-cost upgrades you could do to your home. Putting some flowers out for curb appeal. The first thing that a person sees when they come up to your home is the curb appeal, the yard. So putting out some fresh mulch and some fresh flowers are not going to break the bank. Pressure washing your house is not going to break the bank, okay? A lot of times people say it's the pictures, but when the pictures could be great, but if I pull up to your house and it looks like it's falling apart, I'm not going to want to go inside as a buyer. So curb appeal is the first step. The next step is that decluttering that we talked about 3 times already. Clearing out your house. Less is more when it comes to selling, even with furniture. Even with furniture. if you got to pile everything in that 2-car garage, pile it in there. Okay. Clean that house out, go rent you a storage for $100, throw it all in there for the next couple of months while you go through this process. But declutter, depersonalize, take your family photos down. People want to walk into their house and see their photos on the wall. Okay. They want to see it just a nice clean slate. Oh, I could put grandma here. Oh, I could put Aunt Betty here. The shrine that I have for my deceased favorite nephew. I don't know. I'm just saying. They want to be able to walk into a home and see themselves there. And that's the main thing.
Yes. Okay, so I'm scrolling through. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything.
And it's okay. Again, we are just doing this impromptu live. I've got my girl from NCCU, Eagle Pride. I got my girl on the line here, and she is helping me out because she noticed. Well, let me tell you, she observed it because she noticed that I'm not responding to any of the comments. And so she said, you know what, let me get on here and help my girl out so she ain't up here looking crazy on Ask an Agent Impromptu. And I appreciate you so much for that. But if we were able to get these questions answered, otherwise I just would have ended it and would have saw the questions and then been like, oh, my bad.
Well, you know, I'm accustomed to Facebook acting really, really crazy. So I was like, oh no, I cannot let her close this video. So, and I want to thank you for that beautiful, beautiful shout to me before you even realized I had been commenting. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell anybody, the work that I do, I'm truly led by God. All right. I think that he has me doing his work. I'm just a vessel. When people are like, oh my God, you out here killing it. I'm not out here killing it. I'm out here. Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
You go Pride. Look, everybody's popping in now. But I'm not out here doing things just haphazardly. You know, I do things with a spirit of excellence because ultimately that's who I'm pleasing. Okay. And hopefully you get pleased along the way by the service that I provide. But ultimately, I'm just trying to do God's work, and I'm glad that he's put me in an area where I truly can serve people. And a lot of times, like even today when the people posted and they tagged me in and I reshared like, thank you for using me as your realtor. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, because I just have a naturally serving spirit. And so I will serve and serve and serve until I can't serve no more. Of course, my church is wondering when I'm coming back. Have life. Shout out to Have Life. I'm coming.
Well, Nicole, I want to say to you also, I am super proud of you. I know we don't always get to like directly message and things, but I am super, super proud of you. I try to chime in on your posts when I can. So you keep up the good work and, you know, continue that service, you know, the stuff they told us about at Central.
Truth and service. Did they not teach us that? Truth and service. That's right.
Yes.
Speaking of, are you going to homecoming next week? I know y'all don't care about homecoming, but we're going to get this in right fast.
Honestly, I had a dream about homecoming the other week, and I was like, is this a sign? Am I supposed to be there? Or is this just a reminder that homecoming is coming and maybe I need to process it? I don't know if I'll make it. I just hadn't really put that much energy into it. But that's a great question. Did you plan to go?
Yes, I will be there. I have a young lady who's in high school, who is doing a documentary on North Carolina Central University. And because she is doing this documentary, I am taking her with me. So she will be there with her camera crew getting B-roll footage for the university. This isn't the only university in the documentary, but it's the only one that I care about. So so, you know, I'm like, girl, you gotta come to homecoming. You gotta make this look good. So really excited about that. But yeah, that's kind of, so I'm going. I mean, I'll also be working. I'm the vice president of the local Charlotte chapter here. So I'll be serving at some of the events in the form of work. I won't be really partying. So, but you know, we do what we can to make it happen so that everybody else has a good time.
Yes. So
But
I was really just gonna give you like I guess an impromptu interview when I said I'd come up here for entertainment, but I think
Let's do this then. Let's do this then.
Honestly, I was just gonna make up some stuff. So I guess I would ask, which I'm sure you've answered this before,
Okay.
first time home buyers, what are
Mhm.
some things they should take into consideration before even starting their process? And then I guess in the current market, what are some unexpected things that they should be prepared for?
Money, money, and more money. Okay. And I say that because I tell people you have to save. When I started in this industry some 6 years ago as a license, I started 10 years ago, but I was a part-time office assistant, but I got licensed a few years later. So I've been licensed over 6 years now. And back then I used to say, oh, if you have $2,000 saved, I'll work with you. If you don't have $2,000, don't reach out to me. Now I'm more like, if you ain't got $7,500 saved, don't reach out to me. Okay.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, um, they're going to want you to put that much money down. And I'm not talking about your down payment. I'm talking about the earnest money and the due diligence. And your due
Oh, yeah.
diligence fee is the amount of money that you're saying, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, for taking your home off the market and allowing me time to investigate, secure my loan, do my inspections, essentially do my due diligence. I will give you X amount of money. Now, due diligence is in North Carolina. I know I'm licensed in 3 states, but for everyone on here, I'm only talking about North Carolina right now. Okay. So, um, that's what you're asking them, to take the home off the market and allow you time to investigate and secure your loan and stuff. So your earnest money is your good faith money. It says, hey, listen, I know I've given you this due diligence fee, but I want to show you I'm actually going to buy your house and give you even more money. Here's the kicker. If you do not close on this house, you lose your due diligence fee. Okay. The only way that you lose your earnest money is if you do not terminate during the due diligence period, which is typically anywhere from 14 to 21 days. It's not that long, okay, because typical loan is closing in 30, 35 days, all right? They're not taking a whole bunch of loans that are closing in 45 days unless it benefits the seller. Remember, we're in a seller's market, and a seller's market is a market where sellers are getting everything they want and buyers get nothing. But the real answer is the seller's market is a market that is full of low inventory. It means that there are more buyers out there buying homes than there are sellers to sell homes to them.
okay.
So yeah, money is, you need to be saving and saving and saving. Interest rates are going up. I started at the beginning of this broadcast talking about the interest rates are slowly going up. And when interest rates go up, you end up with less house that you can afford because the interest rate is eating up that money. So keep that in mind. Maybe it's not that I need to put down a sizable down payment, but maybe instead of the $300,000 house, I want 350, and I need to come up with an extra $30,000 to make that happen. Okay,
Okay.
you cannot borrow money. Okay, someone said, "Oh, if I had known, I would have borrowed the money." You can't borrow money. Only money you can borrow is the loan for the house. You cannot borrow
Hmm.
your earnest money. You cannot borrow your due diligence. That money must be in your account and have sat there and seasoned for a good 30 to 60 days, depending on the lender. So
That's
money
very
is
good
a
to
big
know.
thing. Credit is a big thing. Brandy Nicole is on here, and she's a credit person. I also work with Adrian Keys. I work with Coretta Farrar. There are a lot of good credit people out here that aren't just writing up dispute letters and sending them out. I can't tell you the amount of clients that I get that come to me, and when I send them to a lender, they've got 15, 16, 18, 20 some disputes on their credit that has their credit high. And the lender's like, you got to get those disputes removed. As soon as you get them removed, your score drops back down below 600 and we can't do nothing with you.
Hmm.
So pay your bills on time, people. That's the key to good credit. Pay your bills on time. If you ain't, don't borrow nothing if you ain't in a position to pay it back.
Exactly. Now that's some
Okay.
sound advice. I remember my dad once telling me, and of course this doesn't apply across the board, but I remember him telling me once, if you can't pay for it with cash, you don't need it. Now he told me this when I was younger. Of course, I know this does not apply to the housing market because I
Right.
mean, realistically, how many regular people are walking around with a house sitting in the bank? But
That part.
in terms of credit, in terms of applying for credit, really unnecessary credit, obtaining credit for just random things, and then like you said, you don't know if you're going to pay it back, or you don't have any intention of paying it back, or you don't know if you're going to be consistent. So I definitely can understand what you're saying there. Like you have to be
Absolutely.
responsible.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm telling you, that credit, they say cash is king, but credit is queen.
mm-hmm.
And you need it. So you need money and you need credit. First time home buyers. Okay. From time to
That's
time, I'll have people that say, hey, I want to sell my home and I want to purchase another home. And I want to make sure that I can afford to do both. I just want to tell you, typically, sometimes lenders are looking that you have a certain amount in savings. Can you afford two mortgages in case you don't get somebody to rent that house out?
oh, that's a good
Do
tip.
you have the money for down payment plus the savings to pay two mortgages plus closing costs? Plus, if you end up bidding over, you know,
Hey,
what do you have?
Clinton, I don't know which one of us you were talking to, but we're both going to accept the compliment, okay?
Thank you. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh gosh. But yeah, this is very good, Nicole. I'm glad you were able to answer some questions. Nobody
I
else in
am
the
glad as
audience?
well.
Anybody else? I
Thanks,
hear you,
Claire.
Claire.
Thanks. Oh, look, we aging gracefully, okay?
Ooh, let's not talk about the aging process.
You were like, what in the world is going on?
Ooh, what happened here?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Lord. Just thank you.
Yes, thank you for the presence, the
Yes,
still being here. Uh-oh, Clinton says, can
exactly.
you borrow closing costs?
No, no, you can't borrow anything but the loan. Can someone give it to you? Yes. And that is called gift funds. And they have to write a letter to the loan officer telling the loan officer that they are giving you the money. Okay. And you're stating a statement saying that you're not going to pay them back. Okay. It's a gift. Gift. They don't
And you
want to
know what?
give
I'm
it.
glad you differentiated between those two terms because earlier when you mentioned it, I was thinking borrow, is that bank borrow or, family and friend borrow? So I'm glad you
You're not
made
supposed
that
to borrow
distinction.
from family and friends. When even gift funds, they're very strict on who you can borrow, who you can get gift funds from. You can't get Precious. I can't give you gift funds. And we friends. Has to come from a immediate relative, in any immediate relative except a niece or a nephew. Now, niece or
Uh-huh.
nephew can get it from an aunt or uncle, but aunt and uncle can't get it from niece and nephew.
Ah, that's very
Little,
interesting.
little tidbit I've learned along the way. I once had, you know, people who have borrowed their earnest money. Now I don't know that. I don't see your bank accounts. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see it. The lenders see that. Okay. I don't get into your personal business like that. I've had people ask me, oh well, I saw so and so close. What do they do? I don't know. It ain't my job to know what somebody does. It's my job to know if they can close. And that's the lender telling me about it, giving me that approval letter. That's it. I don't care about your personal business. Now I'm gonna talk and try to find out, what you like so I can get you a good closing gift. But outside of that, you know, realtors aren't in your business like that. We have That's not what we're there for. We're there to sell you a house and cash a check.
I think that's also something that's useful for people to know because I noticed that you also made a distinction between realtor, lender, and who was the third party? It may have been like FHA at a particular time that you were talking. But
The realtor, the lender, the inspector, and the real estate agent. Every agent in North Carolina is not a
yes.
realtor.
Okay.
And let me say this now, okay, before somebody, be like, realtor. It's two syllables, realtor. Okay, not three. Okay, and that's my pet peeve, and I will correct my clients because I'm very adamant about my craft. It's like if someone came to you and they keep saying your name wrong, you gonna correct them, right?
Right.
Right? It's the same thing. I'm not a realtor. I'm a realtor.
So let me ask you a question because this is called Ask an Agent. And when I shared, I said, okay, well, they may not know what kind of agent. So I put real estate agent. So now are
That's
you
correct.
a realtor and a real estate agent?
That's correct. I am both.
Okay.
So let's go through this a little bit. So in North Carolina, there is one license type for all real estate agents. That license type is a real estate broker's license. So every real estate agent in the state of North Carolina is a real estate broker. In South Carolina, every real estate agent is a salesperson first, and then they have to become a real estate broker. Okay. So Brady said, I remember when I started, you corrected me real quick. Yes, this is your craft. You have to be able to take your craft seriously. And I do. I study, I take extra classes. I'm actually working on my GRI, which is what I call the equivalent of a graduate degree in real estate. But um it's intense. They want to make sure you know stuff. They want to make sure when I'm out here teaching people real estate, because I am certified to teach real estate as well,
All
that,
right.
you know, I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I will correct you. Real estate agent is everybody's a real estate agent. A real estate broker is your license type. Salesperson may be your license type. And a realtor means that you are a member of the National Association of Realtors or your state board, North Carolina Association of Realtors in this case. But there are people who are out here that are agents and not realtors. People just use those terms synonymously and they're not. Everyone's not a broker. I mean, excuse me, a realtor. Everyone is a broker though in North Carolina.
Well, thank you for clarifying. I'm the same way about my field, so I completely understand.
You're
I will
welcome.
correct somebody quick. Like, no.
Yeah, you gotta let them know. And here's why. I mean, no disrespect by it, but especially when I'm talking to people that look like me, I said, look, I can't have us out here looking bad. Okay,
Good.
that's it. If you take offense, I apologize for offending you. It wasn't my intent. My intent is never to offend, but to educate. Because when we know better, what happens?
We do better.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, Nicole, I want to thank you, like I started this right. I want to thank you for taking the time to answer all of these questions from the audience. The information you've shared has been very enlightening and insightful. Brandy said that was your exact word. I really appreciate it. Nicole, honestly, I think this was very helpful. This is my first time being in one of these sessions or, tuning in live with you. I'm glad we were able to connect live.
Yes. I'm glad you jumped on because, like I said, I never would have even known that Facebook was acting crazy. I would have
Uh-huh.
got off and been just like, okay, nobody wanted to talk to me and been sad the rest of the day, but you took my sadness away. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are so,
But,
so welcome.
but I typically, try to keep these, under an hour. And if is there anybody else who has questions? You could drop them in the chat, but I just decided today because my hair was looking cute and I'm getting it done tomorrow. It won't look like this anymore to jump on live and answer some of your questions. So, that's it. But again, I just sincerely, all jokes aside, do appreciate you helping me out. Um, I really do. I'm telling you. Yeah. That's how that Eagle fam does though.
Yes, got to look out for each other. However we
Absolutely.
can, near or far,
However we
little or
can.
big. Them
Oh,
said,
we're
show
gonna we're
is
just gonna
still
leave Kristen
hunting.
alone, okay?
Girl, I
Look,
might need to hop off of this. Let y'all get. No, I'm just
right.
joking.
Tell the fam that I said hi. Yes,
Yes,
but
Clifton, you better
again,
stop throwing stuff out there before you get in trouble by
so you
accident.
get in trouble. Thank you. Uh-huh. Shoot. But absolutely, again, thank you so much. If there are no more questions, I do want to thank you all for tuning in today. This has been another episode of Ask an Agent, except this one was called the impromptu version, where we just hop on and answer some questions. Special shout out to Miss Preference Evans for all of her help. If you would like to reach out to Miss Preference, her website is artbyp.com. And if you want to follow me on social media on Instagram, my IG is Cole's Keys. My YouTube is Cole's Keys LLC, and so is my Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Ask an Agent. We'll catch you next time. Good night.
And that Cole is with a K.
Right. Cole is with a K. Bye.
Bye bye.